Hello everyone, welcome to all that are joining on our live streams, ready for this game between Scotland and England, the first ever senior meeting between the sides. The final group game in the EPFA Home Nations Invitational here at the Ards Blair Main Wellbeing and Leisure Complex in Newton Ards, Northern Ireland. To start you off, I'll run you through the team lineups, beginning with Scotland. Starting in goal for the Scots, number 7 Kieran Burns, just in front of him number 2 Logan Mitchelson, with 2 wingers in 4 Ethan Galloway and 8 Colin Shields. They have the options of Thomas Pettigrew and James Dool on the bench if and when they need it. And to go through the challenges, England looking to confirm their spot in the EPFA Home Nations Invitational Final. Goal, number 7 Chris Gordon, just in front of him number 8 John Baldwin, with 2 wingers in number 4 Ed Common and 21 Dan Rigby. Substitutes for England, number 19 Brad Bates, number 11 Sam Smith, number 10 Matt Francis and number 9 Marcus Harrison. Just want to give a huge shout out to our EPFA live streaming team sat behind me, Alex Dowdin and Kelly Dos Santos, working tirelessly to connect this amazing tournament with the wider public and all those watching from home. Please continue to like, comment, share our streams to get this amazing sport to as many people as possible. Scotland started the day fantastically well yesterday, registering a 2-1 win over our host Northern Ireland. Struggled slightly more in their second fixture of the day, succumbing to a 4-0 defeat to Republic of Ireland. England played 2-1-2, an opening 4-0 win over the Republic of Ireland was closely followed by a 3-1 win over Northern Ireland. A single point would be enough to see England into the EPFA Home Nations Invitational Final. It's still mathematically possible for Scotland to register a spot if they can somehow produce a miracle, secure a win over our arguable tournament favourites. As I mentioned, the first ever meeting between the senior sides, a moment of history. It's going to unfold before us. Slight adjustment for Scotland. It looks like Kieran Burns will assume a different responsibility to that he had yesterday, adorning that bright orange goalkeeper jersey. Slight different tactical approach. Logan Mitchelson, the standout in that Scotland team. As the referee, Remy Simon, draws the captains in John Baldwin and Colin Shields to the centre circle. Final few formalities before we're underway in this final fixture of the group stage. Colin Gordon just giving his final instructions to his team. Likewise with Craig Peaty and Gareth Mitchelson on this left-hand side. So following this fixture, we'll have a short lunch break. The third place playoff Be taking place at 2 p.m. if England see a win out over the Scots, it will be Scotland versus Northern Ireland in the third place playoff, followed by England versus the Republic of Ireland, but not yet confirmed.
No, I'll be looking forward to seeing how the England set up and what sort of gameplay they're going to do, whether it's going to be anything new or just the tried and tested format.
They produced some exquisite passing sequences in that game against Northern Ireland yesterday afternoon, and we'll be looking for more of the same. Following his impressive appearance in the EPFA Home Nations Development Tournament, Dan Rigby did secure his call up to the England senior side and makes his first start for the Three Lions as Ethan Galloway intercepts early on. It's going to be a high intensity game. England looking to attack early on through Dan Rigby, met by Logan Mitchelson. Ricochets between Boulding and Mitchelson's chair. Boulding looking to go round the right. England playing a very attacking game here, outnumbering the Scottish defence. Eventually goes out for a Scotland goal kick. Early warning signs for Kieran Burns and Logan Mitchelson in that defensive half for Scotland. They're playing two very high players in Colin Shields and Ethan Galloway.
England setting up a very attacking defensive setup. All players on or in front of the halfway line.
Colin Shields can't quite get a hold of that goal kick from Kieran Burns, and it goes out for an England kicking, which will be taken by England keeper Chris Gordon. Fires it down the line to Dan Rigby. A pick off back to Gordon. Rotated pass over to Boulding in the centre. Finds Ed Common on the right hand wing. Tries to guide it over to Rigby, but intercepted by Kieran Burns well. Boulding now with a driven shot just to the left hand side of the post. He does that so well at club level.
It really is just a slight turn of the chair. It looks so sublime when you see it in action. You don't understand what he's doing when he does it, but he then just twists that chair around, lets fly, and that ball just rockets away.
Millimetres to the side of the left-hand post. Boulding with a pick-off over to Ed Common. Pick-off back to Boulding. Tries to guide it over to Dan Rigby on the left-hand side. But play is broken up by a 2-on-1 infringement.
I think this is going to be the way the game goes. I think the speed that the way England play will catch most teams out, to be fair, on 2-on-1s, because the ball just moves so fast and they don't get a chance to move their chairs out of the way.
And Boulding just instructing Ed Common as to where he'd like the ball. Chris Gordon to the right. He's going to fire it towards Boulding. And Boulding gets a little nick off to put England 1-0 up. 2.5 minutes in. Fantastic. Well-worked set piece. Straight off the training ground. Separates the sides.
Yeah, again, just the ball in. The ball with speed. John was pointing with his finger where he wanted the ball, and it was inch perfect to his chair. Just slipped away from the keeper and nodded the ball into the net. Fantastic goal.
It's worth noting that number 2, Logan Mitchelson, and number 4, Ed Common for England, play their domestic football together at Newcastle-based Northern Thunder. I'm not sure there's too many other examples of club players representing different nations, certainly within UK. As Logan Mitchelson comes over now, he's going to have to try and get it past his clubmate Ed Common. Common does well to intercept. Mitchelson has the option of Galloway down the wing. Colin Shields over to the right. Little cushion into the side of Common's chair.
Yeah. England really won't mind that sort of a free chance of getting the ball back straight away.
Dan Rigby's going to try and see it back to Bolden, which he does. Intercepted pass, intended for Common. Gordon now called into action. Mitchelson intercept, better from the Scots. Gordon into Bolden, that familiar partnership that England fans are so accustomed to. Ethan Galloway now going to try and produce a pass to Logan Mitchelson in the centre. Pick off back to Galloway, better. Bolden clears these lines. Scotland not sitting back here, they're looking to get back into the game, which is really positive to see. Shields into Mitchelson, has limited options. Bolden evades Mitchelson. 2-on-1 in favour of England. Mitchelson and Galloway surrounding John Bolden, the England captain. This EPFA Home Nations Invitational is sanctioned by FIFA and proudly supported and partnered by UEFA. And the quality across the weekend has been truly spectacular as Ed Common lets it run across his chair and tries to maintain his position in reverse, but his club teammate Logan Mitchelson limits the space. It rolls out for a Scotland goal kick. Thank you to all tuning in across our live streams. Kieran Burns cushions it into the side of Mitchelson's chair. John Bolden quick to apply pressure and tries to pick out Dan Rigby on the left-hand side. 6 minutes gone. Scotland 0. England 1. Ed Common now with an opportunity. Met by Mitchelson on the goal line. Pick off over to Dan Rigby. Another pick off to Bolden. Sees it over to Gordon. This is good passing work. Pick off back to Gordon. Nice. Successive passing from the three lines. Bolden going to try and guide it over to one of his teammates. He can't quite get a purchase on the ball. And Mitchelson can try and get in the way. Gordon over to Bolden. Common's going to have to do well to control that ball. A lot of pace on that. Just turns his chair and guides it back to his keeper, Chris Gordon. Scotland trying to pen England back in. Good pressure from Ethan Galloway. Keep Scotland in the England half momentarily. The referee deems that too forceful from Ethan Galloway, and play will resume with a direct free kick to England.
Yeah, again, I think the gentle tap on the side of the chair in a game in the UK that wouldn't even come to the referee's attention. I think sometimes a bit of noise makes referees think differently. Common
with a superb pick off back to John Bolden, but Kieran Burns gets in there, and Dan Rigby has a chance here at the back post. Back to Bolden, who's going to pass it over to Common. Drives it diagonally across the pitch. Bolden wasn't quite at the right angle to receive that pass. But you can really see the quality that England possess. Bolden over to Common. All he can do is get contact with the back of his chair. A lot of pace on that ball, and it will go out for a Scotland corner kick. Chance here for Scotland, who have been put under a lot of pressure in this opening 8 or so minutes. Be taken by Ethan Galloway. Mitchelson with space in the middle. Colin Shields at the back post. Keep an eye on John Bolden. He's going to be quick to try and intercept. 2-on-1 once again. Awarded by our referee, Remy Simon. Gordon over to Bolden. Rotated pass down the field of play to Common, who forces a go at goal. Mitchelson has to try and relieve the pressure on the Scottish defence. Good battle here. A lot of pace on that ball. Can he wrap his chair around it? He can. He's got Gordon in support just behind him.
Well played, Baldwin. Knew what he wanted to do. Just tapped the ball against the chair and gives England a kick in high up on the pitch.
Common all the way over to Dan Rigby. Take a little nick off Colin Shield's chair, which took the direction off of it. Gordon over to Common. Cushions it into the side of his chair. Has the option of Gordon on the edge. Baldwin now coming in support. Rotated kick. Gordon intercepted by Mitchelson extremely well. Referee Remy Simon awards a 2-on-1. The Scottish coaching setup isn't too happy with that decision. Colin Shield was trying to invade the area as quickly as possible.
Yeah, again, I think
so fairly unfair.
Yeah, I wouldn't have put that down as a 2-on-1. There was only really one player, and the goalkeeper was not included.
Common over to Rigby, fires it into the side of Kieran Burns' chair. And now the 2-on-1 goes in favour of Scotland. Chris Gordon too close to Dan Rigby. We're going to get a substitution from the looks of it. It's going to be number 9, Marcus Harrison, coming on in place of number 21, Dan Rigby.
Great experience for Dan Rigby to start as one of the leading 4 players of the first competition. So I think he's a pretty proud lad. I know his parents, who are sat behind us, are also very, very proud of the achievements that Dan's been making.
Marcus Harrison, the current tournament top goal scorer with 4 in 2 games, will be looking to make that golden boot his own. Ethan Galloway with the kick in. Just to the side of Mitchelson's chair. He's going to be met by Chris Gordon, who has to be careful. That it's the 2-on-1. It was Chris Gordon. Was reversing backwards. John Baldwin couldn't get into his defensive box quick enough.
Yeah, a little bit of lack of talking to the players. They're so used to playing this in that way. Sometimes I think they forget to talk to each other.
Mitchelson to take the indirect free kick. He's got Colin Shields in between Baldwin and Gordon on the England goal line. Drives it into the side of him, can't quite get the angle, and a pick off from Ed Common sets away Marcus Harrison for his first involvement in the fixture. He has a job of getting round Logan Mitchelson, which has proved easier said than done so far this tournament. As Mitchelson does well, Marcus Harrison has to drop off and allows Baldwin to resume the defensive responsibilities for England. Shields has to drop off there to give Logan Mitchelson the space. Baldwin back to Gordon. Little pick off by Ethan Galloway. There's a chance here for Scotland. Can he get the direction to see it over the line? He can! Equalising goal from Ethan Galloway. Huge goal in the history of Scottish power chair football and Scottish football as a whole to level the tie. Fantastic. Taken opportunity from the Scots. And England are pretty shocked with that.
Yeah, they might be shocked, they might be dominating, but like we say in this game, you know, if you don't take your chances, then that's what happens.
But Common tries to force the shot past Logan Mitchelson, but it's met with a heavy resistance. Yeah, fantastic. Guided finish by Ethan Galloway. Did well to get a hold of the pace of the ball and see it just to the right-hand side of that post. Goal scorer called into defensive duties now. Unlucky, can't quite get a hold of the ball. It goes out for an England kick in. 6.5 minutes remaining. Scotland 1, England 1. As Coleman goes back to his keeper, Gordon. Baldwin tries to direct and angle the ball past Ethan Galloway. Ethan Galloway proving a real menace for them England defenders. Now Logan Mitchelson But a battle with Ed Common.
I think he tried to play the advantage.
Played the advantage for an earlier 2-on-1.
It is good to see that some of the referees will play the advantage and let it play out a little bit longer.
Boulding over to Harrison. In the box. Goes with Common. Mitchelson will do well to wrap his chair around that to prevent the pick-off from John Boulding. It's good work from Mitchelson just to guide the ball out of Common's path. There's a lot of pace on that ball. Tricky situation here for Scotland. Mitchelson has to block Harrison, who sees it back to Boulding. Over to Common on the right. Boulding with an effort at goal. Couldn't quite get the direction on the shot. Marcus Harrison wasn't angled well enough to see it past Logan Mitchelson, who's hugging that left-hand post. It remains 1-1. 5 minutes remaining in this first half of the final group game. Scotland will be delighted with their performance so far. I think that assurance of Kieran Burns in the Scotland goal just frees up Logan Mitchelson a bit. And the ever-dynamic Ethan Galloway able to provide an attacking threat for Scotland. Boulding over to Common, superb pass. They're going to have to try, and Kieran Burns was caught unaware and couldn't quite get the direction change in time.
I think once again there just shows the speed of the ball when it's hit properly and connected is made in the right way. There's no way the player can get anywhere near the ball, and it was so easy then to put the ball in the back of the net.
Superb finish. Unfortunate for Scotland, so close to the half-time break. But they'll take confidence in the fact that they were able to undo England earlier on, and will be looking for more of the same. Yeah. Firstly in the final 3 minutes, and then the second half, Boulding with a lot of court to roll into, a lot of pace on the ball, eventually put out by Logan Mitchelson.
Yeah, John with expertise there, just letting the ball run out.
Boulding over to Common, a lot of pace on that ball. Had there been connection, it would have been a sure rocket of a shot.
They hit the ball so well.
Thankful to Scotland.
I know we say that these chairs have a sweet spot, but they really do have a sweet spot.
Mitchelson trying to find a way past England captain Boulding, who picks out Ed Common. Intercepted by Mitchelson well. Looks like he took a little nick off an England chair.
Yeah, just rebounded back on of Ed's chair to go out for a Scottish kick in.
Once again, comes off the front of Ed Common's chair. Scotland kicking. 2.5 minutes remaining. Scotland 1, England 2. The first ever meeting of the senior sides of Scotland and England. Mitchelson getting the better of Ed Common on that instance. Ethan Galloway caught in two minds slightly. Didn't know whether to have the rotated pass or the pick off back to Logan Mitchelson. Just trying to get round the right-hand side of Ethan Galloway, Ed Common. He's pushed out of play. England kicking with 2 minutes remaining. Common over to Gordon. Boulding fires it diagonally across to Marcus Harrison, who produces one of the goals of the tournament. It went through every England player before eventually being converted by our top goal scorer, Marcus Harrison. A truly superb finish and well-worked team goal to put England 3-1 up.
Yeah, I know we've said it before and we will say it again. When the passes go right and, you know, they have the accuracy they have and the power they have, they make it look so simple, but it really is so difficult.
Just rebounds off the left-hand side of Mitchelson's chair, and it's going to go out for an England corner in the final minute. They'll want to limit the damage that Scotland, if they can go in the current scoreline, gives them a chance to regroup. A fantastic ball from Ed Common to pick up Marcus Harrison, who's going to have a go on goal. Resisted by Logan Mitchison on the Scotland goal line. He keeps it in play, a little bit too much pace. In the end, Bolden over to Common. That pass has worked so effectively for them all game. Common back to Bolden, back to Common. Bolden with a go at goal. Completely mistimes the kick. Eventually rolling out for a Scotland kick in. If Colin Shields could have just positioned his chair in a more advanced position, they would have been on the break there.
Yeah, Bolden there giving a thumbs up to Ted Commons, saying sorry for his mishit.
And without a second of additional time, the referee blows the half-time whistle. Positives from both sides. England producing some amazing free-flowing attacking football.
Yeah, I think Scotland have done themselves again really proud. They've been fighting. They haven't been disgraced by any stretch of the imagination. They're still in it.
No, absolutely. So as the half-time break ensues, we've got Scotland 1, England 3. England goals from Ed Common, John Bolden, Marcus Harrison, and a single Scotland goal from Ethan Galloway. Join us shortly for the second half. Hello everyone. To everyone watching our live streams across the EPFA Facebook and YouTube pages. To this final group stage game between Scotland and England. Fantastic first half. Saw England take the lead early on. And John Baldwin finished past the Scotland defenders. A reply from Ethan Galloway equalised for Scotland before two superb finishes from our current tournament leaders.
That's better.
Good passing early on from England. Logan Mitchelson going to try and see it over to Galloway. Common now. An opportunity on the right hand side.
Not quite sure whether the referee saw that one.
The sides are unchanged from that. That finished the first half. Goal for Scotland, Kieran Burns. Just in front of him, Logan Mitchelson with two wingers and Ethan Galloway and Colin Shields. For England, Chris Gordon in goal. John Baldwin just in front with two wingers of Marcus Harrison and Ed Common. Colin Shields coming over to take the Scotland kick-in into the side of Logan Mitchelson. Just evades Marcus Harrison, who has to advance up the pitch. Options on the bench for either side. For Scotland, they've got James Dool and Thomas Pettigrew at their disposal. For England, a host of talent in Matt Francis, Dan Rigby, Sam Smith and Brad Bates. They'll all be itching to come on and make an impact and further cement this victory and scoreline for England. Chris Gordon now over to Baldwin, rotated all the way to Marcus Harrison, who has an opportunity here to guide it over to Ed Common. Superb goal, diagonal passing from Gordon to Baldwin, Baldwin to Marcus Harrison, Harrison to Ed Common on the far right hand side. There was nothing that the Scotland keeper Kieran Burns could do to limit the pace and direction on that shot. England 4, Scotland 1.
Yeah, the speed of that ball and the direction the ball went. You know, it's a case of Scotland now have really got to sort of shut up shop and trying to find a way of stopping England making those diagonal passes, which are tearing their team apart. It could be, 4-1 now. Could be anything in the next couple of minutes.
England making full use of the court. We're playing to full size regulation, so we're 18 metres by 30. And they're using that full 18 metre width to good use. As Baldwin can't quite get the direction and Mitchelson intercepts. Baldwin back over to Common, who's unmarked at this right hand post, just guides it to the left hand side, but Kieran Burns limits the opportunity. Marcus Harrison now with an opportunity to go. Ed Common at the back post, sees it over to Marcus Harrison to score England's 5th. They're really turning on the style now, and Scotland struggling to deal with such free flowing attacking, wide passing.
I think you'll find now England will start making some changes, bringing some of the other players on to give them a taste of the game, get them match fit ready for the final this afternoon.
So Marcus Harrison on 6 goals in the 3 games that he's played so far this weekend. Closely followed by Ed Common, who has 5. Looks like we're going to get a substitution. Matt Francis being readied on the sideline.
Nice turn of shot there by...
audacious effort there from Logan Mitchelson, but couldn't quite get the direction, and we're going to get that change as suspected as Chris Gordon leaves the field of play in place of number 10, Matt Francis, adorning that bright yellow goalkeeper jersey for England.
Unfortunately, if you're a Scotland player, seeing Chris go off and then being replaced by Matt is another uh-oh. another exceptional player.
Ethan Galloway applying pressure on the England defence. Matt Francis with his first touch of the game just glides past Ethan Galloway. Met by Logan Mitchelson. Just caught in two minds, Matt Francis. Stays up to prevent Mitchelson the space. 2-on-1 here from Scotland. If Mitchelson can find Galloway on the left-hand side, Boulding intercepts and we'll get England attacking. Common on the right if he can guide the ball over to him. Colin Shields and Kieran Burns trying to prevent the pass from Boulding. Just a little nick from Colin Shields. Does well to take it out of Ed Common's path. The referee deemed it too forceful from Ed Common. Brings it back for a Scotland free kick.
Just before that, though, John Boulding went from one end of the pitch to the other. So experienced, so much strength, and just the skill set he has with controlling the ball is amazing.
And we get a substitution for Scotland as the goal scorer Ethan Galloway leaves the field of play in place of number 6, Thomas Pettigrew. Right, he's going to resume the most attacking role for Scotland. Just sitting close to Matt Francis. Colin Shields with a nice pass across the field of play. No Scottish player there to receive it. Boulding just uses the ball to his advantage and sees off Pettigrew. Matt Francis finds Ed Common on the right-hand side. Colin Shields can intercept, but a ricochet off Boulding's chair puts it into the danger zone for Scotland, and Boulding is going to try and find Marcus Harrison on the left. Back to Boulding. Has to be aware and alert to Matt Francis's position in the centre. Mitchelson back to Pettigrew. Intercepted by Matt Francis. Boulding. Over to Common on this right-hand side. He has a world of space. He's going to just cushion it. Rotated into the box. Boulding with a go at goal. Just seen back in by Ed Common. Cut out well by Kieran Burns. The danger's still there. He does that so effectively. The slight feint and misdirects the Scottish defenders. Common back to Boulding. Back to Common on the right. Marcus Harrison in space. Looking for his hat-trick. Matt Francis finds Marcus Harrison. Contact there from Marcus Harrison driving into the side of Kieran Burns' chair. It's going to be a free kick for Scotland. Just before we're going to get a substitution as the extremely impressive Ed Common leaves the field of play in place of number 19, Brad Bates. Probably my player of the tournament so far, Ed Common. Bri, what do you think?
You just can't fault him, can you? He always turns out, and the performance he puts out is 100%. Rarely makes a mistake, and his passing accuracy and skill set is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. One of the best players in the world.
Matt Francis down to Marcus Harrison. Into Boulding in the centre. Drives it over to Brad Bates for his first involvement. Drills it across the box to Marcus Harrison. Can he get the pick off of the direction? He can't. He would have probably wanted to direct a shot at goal there. There was a gap between Kieran Burns and Mitchelson.
Yeah, that was the first touch really for Bates. I just don't think he had the accuracy there on his bumper. Should have been on goal.
Harrison with the kick in. Over to Francis. Boulding. Down to Brad Bates. He's going to be cut out by Logan Mitchelson well. Ten and a half minutes remaining. Scotland 1, England 5. As Boulding finds Marcus Harrison on the left-hand side. He forces a go at goal. Intercepted by Mitchelson. Back to Francis. Going to be blocked by Colin Shields. Logan Mitchelson caught in two minds there and just allows Boulding to resume the attack for England. Marcus Harrison lets it run across his chair and a superb reverse spin kick into the near side post. Secures his hat-trick for the game. He's been absolutely prolific in this tournament.
Again, just amazing accuracy. I mean, these guys with these chairs, some of them see a gap. You know, it looks tiny. It doesn't look like a ball would fit in it. Hits it with so much force, and it just goes straight through where it should go. Fantastic goal.
7 goals in the 3 games that he's played. A really impressive statistic from the England and West Bromwich Albion player.
Looks like he's going off now for a rest, a well-earned rest.
Absolutely, so huge congratulations to Marcus Harrison, who leaves the field of play in place of number 11, Sam Smith. We're going to get a substitution for Scotland as well, as they just make an adjustment to their goalkeeper. Looks like James Dahl is going to come on in place of Kieran Burns.
Yeah, it's good to see both squads changing players, so everybody gets a game and some game time and some chance to play at international level.
Scotland 1, England 6 with 9 minutes remaining. Bates tries to put it into the space. James Dahl, his first involvement. Mitchelson can't quite get the angle. Brad Bates trapped in that corner. Referee deemed it too close, 2-on-1, given to Scotland.
I think again, I think once again, some of these not some of these referees, but interpretation of the rule, the ball should be 3 meters, not the players. It sometimes looks worse than it is. So.
Just want to bring in Alex Dowding for his thoughts on the game. He's sitting behind the computers controlling the live streams, but thoughts on the game so far, Alex?
It's been a masterclass in control and passing by England at the back, particularly having the double pivots with the goalkeeper and John out in the centre there. Their passing is often a little slower than you'd expect it to be in terms of the pace on the ball, but that's just to keep the control and keep the shape. They've been cutting open the Scottish side with regularity, and all the players are able to play in each of the positions that they need to around the shape that they play. They understand and can rotate as they need to. There's a lot more to playing 4 out than just bringing your keeper forward, and there's some golden rules that they abide by. They'll never play. You'll never see the goalkeeper or Johnny really play a straight ball straight down the pitch with any pace. They know that's a surefire way to lose a goal. I say you never see that. You did see it yesterday against Republic of Ireland, but that's one of their golden rules they shouldn't do, and they know that's a flaw or a weakness in the system. So they compensate by not doing that. But then it's not just a case of having a square and bringing out your goalkeeper. You need to adjust your team, adjust your back two specifically to be able to take advantage of having that sideways pass to open up the space for passes down the wings. And they've been doing that extremely effectively.
Yeah, completely agree. Having worked with the WFA and the FA on the emergent talent pathway, there's a strong emphasis on the England DNA, which is that 4-out way. All players are encouraged to have responsibilities and be comfortable in all positions on the pitch. You'll see it here with England. Then rotate and fill the voids and the gaps vacated by their teammates. Mitchelson finds Shields in the centre. Back to Mitchelson, drives it diagonally across the pitch, but Boulding intercepts. Just readjusts. think he wanted to find his teammate Sam Smith on the left-hand side. Brad Bates trapped in the right-hand wing, but too much pace for John Bolden to keep a hold of. Looks like Ed Common's going to come back on here in this second half. 5 minutes remaining.
Maybe it's time for John to have a bit of a rest.
I think so.
Ever present John Bolden.
The 2-on-1.
And there's a substitution. Double substitution. One Scotland, one England.
From England. Ed Common comes back on. He'll be chasing his hat-trick, and we'll want to give Marcus Harrison a good goal. Bit of competition for that top goal scorer award. Mitchelson, the indirect free kick, fires it into the gap. Blocked by Ed Common. Pick off from Thomas Pettigrew. Can't find a way past Ed Common, and England will get the kick in. Pick off from Brad Bates. Back to Matt Francis. Back to Brad Bates, who's got the space on this wing. A lot of pace on that ball. Will eventually run out of play. 3.5 minutes remaining. Scotland 1, England 6 in the EPFA Home Nations Invitational, sanctioned by FIFA and partnered by UEFA. It was to end.
The referees overturned his decision and give a 2-on-1.
Okay. So as it stands, we'll have a third place playoff between Scotland and Northern Ireland at 2 o'clock before the highly anticipated EPFA Home Nations Invitational final between England and the Republic of Ireland at 3:45. So I hope you can all join us for that. The final few minutes of this game. Scotland will be wanting to limit the damage of that 5-goal deficit. So Sam Smith, with one of his first major involvements in the game, he's been fairly isolated on that left-hand wing since coming on. Matt Francis just gets the better of Logan Mitchelson. Good battle here between the two players.
Good determination by Mitchelson, just run out of steam, I'm afraid there. Matt Francis wore him down in the end.
Matt Francis blocked by Colin Shields. Common with a pick off over to his club and country teammate Sam Smith. Guides it down the line. Brad Bates just going to cushion that into the side of his chair. Rotated it into the side of Matt Francis. Back over to Brad Bates if he can get a pick off to find a way past James Dool in the goal, Scotland goal. Would love a goal at this tournament. He's yet to bag one.
Referee played advantage, didn't come off, so it'll go back for a Scottish ball.
I'm sure Colin Gordon and Adam Crowell will be absolutely delighted with this England performance. Some real quality on display and some of the best passing power chair football you'll see in the world.
Well played, Ed. Well played, Ed.
Ed Common over to Matt Francis, who's going to try and guide it down the line to Sam Smith, who fires it over to Brad Bates. Can't quite get the direction on the shot or pass over to Sam Smith, and it just trickles past the left-hand post. I think Brad Bates would have probably been better going for goal there as opposed to trying to find Sam Smith with a pass.
Yeah, I think there's sometimes overpass, and I think that was one pass too many. Should have gone for goal.
Would have been a sure goal. It's a huge gap vacated by James Daw, who went over to the left-hand post to limit Sam Smith's opportunity. So unfortunate there for the number 19, Brad Bates. But he'll take confidence in that positioning and played a key role in working that chance. Colin Shields with the kick in. Now into additional time. That ball's going to probably roll out or play. Does well to keep it in. Ed Coleman bullies his way past Mitchelson. Sees it over to Sam Smith. Tries to guide it back to Common. Not enough pace. Allows that pressure from Mitchelson. Diagonal pass from Matt Francis. Brad Bates. Logan Mitchelson with a lot of pace on his... Come off Nick chair. Brad Bates finds Sam Smith. Back to Common, playing the central role. He's going to rotate over to Brad Bates at the back post to register that goal that he deserves from his performances, both in this game and others across the weekend. Hasn't got as much game time as he would have wanted, but he'll be delighted that he's finally put that goal away to secure a 7-1 victory for England.
Yeah, again, well played by England.
And the referee, Remy Simon, blows his whistle for full time. Scotland 1, England 7. England goals. Marcus Harrison hat-trick. Ed Common with 2. John Bowen with another. And finally, Brad Bates putting the cherry on top for the Three Lions. A single Ethan Galloway goal. Temporarily set England on the back foot. But a classy performance from England, who will be playing Ireland in the EPFA Home Nations Invitational Final at 3:45. Join us shortly for the third place playoff at 2 o'clock, which will see Scotland face Northern Ireland. And stick around for some interviews with some of the England players. See you soon.
Well, John Borden joins me now for a quick interview after that game against Scotland, where they went out winners quite comfortably in the end. John, what did you take from that?
A lot of positives. We played some lovely football throughout the game. Obviously, you can see the one goal. The way we play was always could happen. And to be fair, before this tournament, we never conceded a goal like that from open play. So obviously, we conceded against Northern Ireland and again today. So it's just something we need to look at and improve a little bit. But yeah, happy with the scoreline in the end.
Obviously, you've got some new players coming into the squad, and you've got a development squad now, which is well and truly earmarked after the last tournament. How do the players, the current sort of pro players, feel about the up-and-coming players? Are they worried? Are they thinking they got up their game? How do you think they feel at the moment?
Obviously, we all watched the development tournament last time, and we know the quality of the players that we've got up and coming. And yeah, it puts pressure on us, and that's what we want. You know, you don't want anyone's place guaranteed. You want to continue to strive to be the best, best in our squad, and you've got to make sure you keep pushing yourself week in, week out to be that top player and get picked for the squad. You know.
I mean, it's great for us to see you got the staff out here from the FA to support you. Having people like Erin around, what does that? How does that make you feel? Are you able? Do you feel confident you can go and talk, or do you think it's? Do some players still think it's a taboo, or how is it accepted by the team?
We love it, you know, because obviously, if you look at all squads, professional, disabled, especially not disabled, they don't have that we have, you know. And so we got to make sure we take full advantage of what we do have. And Erin's ability to change your mindset in certain situations before, during, after the game, it's been incredible. And I've personally taken a lot from it. Obviously, it's down to each individual player how much they take out of it. But for me personally, it's been inevitable.
Easy for you to say. So obviously the final to come.
Yep.
Your final thoughts on the final?
That'd be interesting. Obviously, we won, I think, 4-0 first game against them. They're obviously a well-structured team. We know we play our best. No one can stop us. So yeah, we just have to go into the next game full of confidence and making sure we make them pay, basically.
Okay, well, final question for me, and obviously being a fellow Gunner, we are playing later on against a not too shabby Leeds team. Prediction?
Up the Gunners. Go for a 2-0 win.
I can go for that. John, thank you very much.
Thank you, Brian. Well.